Hi, and welcome back to episode 3 of Let's Win XCOM Long War, hosted by myself, Philip. It's a pleasure to have you back, and we're heading into our second abduction mission. I took time between this to mark up everyone's last name, so you don't have to watch me do that anymore. So first, let's look at the long haul. Let's take a look at what we're building. We're excavating as fast as we can towards the steam. We would really like to build our thermogenerator as fast as possible. We need 350 credits to do that. We're at 171. So the 100 that comes from this abduction is going to help put us close. We're also looking to build a laboratory or workshop as fast as possible. We'll likely build those before the end of the month and start the thermogenerator right at the beginning of the next month with our monthly income. We'll need to buy more interceptors as well, since I plan on launching the 2 satellites that will be available to me over Asia to reduce panic and to bring in income, because Japan is worth a bunch. You can get 90 more credits a month from Japan, less than 60 from India, less than 50 from Australia, and about 80 from China. So, and of course the US is almost 100, but Japan is worth a lot of money, and the panic is there, so that'll be great. Also, you'll note that we have some troops to level up and send out on this one, so that's great because it's an abduction mission. We really don't want to fail or have to retreat, and we would definitely like to kick ass. Plus, we want some high-level troops for the end of the month. It's only the 9th, and generally the council missions and terror missions don't happen until after the 15th, I feel, like the second half of the month. And by then, these troops, which may level up again on this mission, will be back in action. Remember, the most they'll be out for being tired is 6 days. We also want to avoid wounds as much as possible. Let's take a look at what's upcoming events. We got a power generator. Yep, we're expecting that. Xenobio in 11 days. That'll give us the medikit and the ability to build alien containment, as well as the ability to autopsy any of the corpses we have. Satellite uplink, yep, we're planning on that. Satellite, 5 days before the council report. It takes 4 days for a satellite to reach orbit. I think you get the money and panic reduction immediately upon launching one, but I do like to get the satellite in orbit before the council report. I'm not sure if it actually makes a difference. It may just be as soon as you launch it, you get the benefits. But I like to play it safe. That's how we actually win at Long War. Okay, so let's move on to the tactical sense portion of the game. That is where I go over how to actually fight the tactical squad battles. Alright, I know Loadout takes a while. I'll think about putting in links to skip it, but you should really probably pay attention this time, since we're going in with we're finally leveling characters. Alright, so here we have the, what are they called? Infantry? No, they would be the assault class, right? Running gun. In Long War, you get 2 initial perk choices that determine what class you'll actually be. There are 8 classes in Long War, 2 for each of the vanilla classes. So, where this would have always been an assault type unit, which starts off with a running gun, you can select running gun, or you can select bullet swarm. Now these The initial perk choices, I've only changed one from the original Long War, and that's for the Engineer, which is the alternate class to the Medic, part of the support superclass, if you will. I think you'll find, and it may be hard to believe at first, but I think you'll find that Infantry, who get Bullet Swarm as their first perk, are incredibly useful. Bullet Swarm is such a versatile perk. Now, that being said, this character has 12 move speed and is actually good at everything, and the assault role is actually a really difficult role to survive in, so you need the best of the best for your assault class. Both roles can equip shotguns, which are incredibly useful at this point in the game, since they can one-shot all the basic enemies, have really high accuracy as long as you're close, and a high ammo capacity compared to the assault rifle. Let me see. Yeah, 5 ammo. So in Long War, if you go to the details of a weapon, most weapons, I think there's like a shiv weapon or two where it's not listed, you can see the amount of ammo you have, and it says 5/6 here. The 6 is after you complete the Foundry project extended clips or something. I believe you have to either autopsy a muton or interrogate it to gain access to that. But anyway, base ammo is 5, so that's just incredibly useful. Also, it's really nice to have shotguns when you're doing UFO missions, because of the extra tough outsiders that we'll get around to at some point. Alright, so for this character, who, as I said, is marked with an asterisk because he's good at everything, I'm going to equip a laser sight and ceramic plating so that he can just shotgun his way to a higher level. I also like to color code my characters. This you'll have to deal with. So here we have another all-star assault infantry, and he is fast with excellent aim and high will. I'm gonna make him an assault as well. I find 2 assaults is far better than 1, since they can kind of back each other up, because often assaults get out there all alone and get destroyed. I'm going to give him a laser sight as well. I make my frontline troops red, my midline troops, well, okay, yeah, I make my frontline troops full red. Alright, so here we have a sniper or a scout. So snipers, your initial perk is Squadsight, which is awesome. Big change from the vanilla game, but totally suitable. And while it may sound, and it definitely makes them more useful from the get-go. And the scout initial perk is Lightning Reflexes. Now that may seem a little confusing to you, a little weak, but if you think about it, Lightning Reflexes, you saw how Overwatch tore me up last game. I think I got hit twice, and I think I had to dodge it 3 times. And if you think about Overwatch, that wastes a whole enemy turn. So Lightning Reflexes can just nullify an enemy turn through you moving. And it lets scouts advance fearlessly into the dark to locate enemies that may have overwatched after being, after that initial cutscene, and then they perhaps retreated into blackness. So it really, really helps to have a scout out in front. That being said, scouts have low hit points, incredibly high aim, They don't have sniper rifles. They instead use assault rifles, which means they're really, really good at picking off units, advancing and flanking low health units. They're just extremely accurate, and they're excellent at attacks of opportunity because of their high accuracy. However, they have the low sniper health, and you have to be very careful because they can be quite fragile. Now that I've modified all the perks except for the initial ones for this class, so there are you can make highly resistant scouts, though they will always have fairly low health. Okay, so let's look at this. All he's got going for him is aim. We're going to make him a sniper. So he'll have Squadsight. I like to make my snipers black, and I like the bullets on the shoulders. Alright, here we have a fast, high willpower support. The subclasses in support are Field Medic first, which is, of course, really, really useful. You can gives you 3 uses of the first aid kit or medikit. And while you can't carry both a first aid kit or a medikit, you can double down on one type of healing item. And I always bring a medic, or at least a first aid kit, but you saw the amount of damage these units can do. The healing is just really useful. And then there's the engineer as the alternative. And one of my changes is normally the engineer gets grenadier, which lets you have 2 grenades for every 1 you put in a pocket. But I think grenadiers a little forces your choices a little bit, and I don't like always having to take grenades to capitalize on one of my perks. So I changed the engineer starting perk to deep pockets so they can carry 3 items. Recall that Long War gives you 2 pockets initially, due to all armors having 2 pockets except for the ghost armor. So let's see. Fast and willpower, that sounds a lot like medics. Engineers can actually equip shotguns, medics can't. So having a decent accuracy is nice, though not required. Am I bringing another medic? No. Okay. So this is a perfect medic type one with a low accuracy, high speed. Speed is very important for medics so they can get close to units that they're going to heal and in good cover. And for our loadout, we're happy that Long War adds this first aid kit before you get the medic kit. Otherwise, we'd have to just pray without the ability to spray. And we are going to go with a smoke grenade, since mostly this character is not going to be great on offense. I like the pure white for my medic and the basic armor style. Okay, who's left? We have a heavy and another infantry. Alright, so for the heavy, you can now no longer have both the light machine gun and rockets. The class is split in 2. You can have a Rocketeer who gets the fire rocket ability. And in Long War, you can carry a shredder rocket as an item. So that gives 2 rockets to the Rocketeer initially, which is just absolutely fantastic. Explosives are really useful, as you probably remember from vanilla vanilla XCOM. And on the other side, you can take suppression and get a light machine gun equipped gunner. Really useful suppression, highly useful against outsiders, and just whenever. Basically, these are 2 sides of the same coin. One is great against groups, and 1 is great against solo powerful targets. So at the beginning, I feel like the rocket is the better choice. And this character isn't particularly good at anything. So rockets do kind of make up for a lack of skill. So we'll take a shredder rocket, which will give us 2 rockets. And he'll have only his regular machine gun, no pistol. So his choices are going to be fairly limited when he runs out of rockets. We'll want to take the laser sight for a couple of reasons. The first is it'll help his SAD aim score and help him use this assault rifle, which otherwise he has no perks to assist him with. And aiming is important for the rockets and the blaster launcher, because in Long War, for one, explosive damage is randomized, as you might have noticed when I got attacked by drones, used a grenade, and 1 drone took 2 damage and 1 took 1. Rocket damage and blaster launcher damage also randomized per target, not per rocket. And they both have a high dependency on your soldier's aim. When I'm launching a rocket, you'll see there's a number listed, and it's the average number of squares of that rocket will drift from the target you choose. And we'll see how that works in this map, most likely. But aim reduces that over distance. Also, all rockets have Snapshot built in, so you can move and shoot, but the distance you can shoot and your accuracy or aim penalty are pretty severe. So mostly you would like to shoot without moving. And finally, here is a high willpower type person, probably not suited for the assault role. So we're going to equip him with, we're going to make him an infantry since they're very solid. I prefer to give the infantry a laser sight and high capacity mags since I'm not, at the moment, terrified that my units will drop dead in a single hit. Maybe in the next month I'll consider replacing the laser sight with armor. We're taking the laser sight because with Bullet Swarm and your 2 attacks, the extra aim is basically doubled up. And we're taking high capacity mags because of the numerous attacks we're going to have to make. We'll be able to make will drain our assault rifle really quickly. High capacity mags giving you 1 extra shot per weapon. They also increase the number of shots you can get from your pistol. And infantry are the perfect unit for finishing off 1 hit point sectoids, or at least taking a pot shot with their pistol. And then you can reload your main weapon or take a shot with the assault rifle at something else. They're especially good with Executioner, which I feel like I really overlooked as a perk on my initial playthrough. I'm going to leave infantry in the standard armor. Oops, and I like to color my explosive, my front line troops that wield explosive as red and yellow. And anyone who carries explosives, I like to give this vesty thing, just because I want to use all the armors. Okay, so we've got our elite first squad, and we're sending them in. Also note that there's a serious willpower jump as soon as you're not a rookie. You gain 7 to 8 will depending on your class, your super class. It doesn't differ between a sniper and a scout. And that can be really useful. I've had some really, really unfortunate encounters on this map. So I find it very difficult to approach this super open building with all these windows without opening up 2 or 3 pods worth of aliens and regretting it. And it's difficult to go to the right and find any decent cover. So generally I go to the left. These two high cover SUVs here can actually make for a really good outpost to fight off lots of aliens. Now, let's look again at what we got. We've got 2 assault, an infantry, and a Rocketeer for the front lines, backed up by a medic and a sniper. The Rocketeer should move last because worst comes to worst, we'd like to be able to plant a rocket in the middle of a pod that activates on this first turn. Definitely moving him last. The assault are the most flexible because you can move and then decide whether you want to move and shoot, making them excellent first turn, excellent sort of scouts, especially if you need, especially if you haven't seen any aliens yet, which means they won't be attacking you. They can also use running gun to go into Overwatch. So the first thing we're going to do is send one up here. And then so we're going to move him here. One of the changes in Long War to the shotgun wielding troops is that they won't, in Overwatch, their range, I think their Overwatch range is 12 instead of, it's like half of the assault rifle, so they won't shoot until enemies are significantly closer, which means they'll actually hit with Shotgun Overwatch instead of wasting their shots on distant enemies. So it's totally an improvement, but also oops. Let's move him right here. We'll try and stick these two together. Our sniper, I think planting him here will be fine. We'll come back to him. Snipers have a new ability. The medic, we'll keep them near our assault troops. The Rocketeer, let's move him here. Now, I don't want to move too much further than the assault troops already have, because I definitely don't want to trigger aliens now that I've committed a lot of my movement. And the assault troop, he is best in entrenched positions. Kind of like the rocket launcher or a sniper, you don't want to have to move him. You want, at the beginning of his turn, him to have targets in sight, be in heavy cover, and able to simply just pop off 2 shots. Okay, so let's look at the sniper. There's a new ability in Long War for snipers only. Sniper rifles only. Scouts don't get this, called Steady Weapon. And it's because, as part of the design, sniper accuracy was reduced from the extremely high vanilla level. To make up for this, you can spend an action to steady your weapon, which gives you plus 20 accuracy on your next attack. It ends your turn, whether you use it with 2 actions or 1 left, like firing your weapon. And it adds just a little strategy to how do you do this, because you can move and steady and then shoot next turn. Alright, drones. We shouldn't have too much trouble with them. The assaults probably make mincemeat. I think my sniper can range on them. And as you can see, his accuracy is really good. He's got 80% aim naturally, plus 20 from steady weapon. That's a 100% chance to hit. And the enemy only has 10 defense. Now you'll see here, Squadsight long range, there's a penalty. The way Squadsight works has been significantly changed from vanilla. In vanilla, there was no aim penalty for Squadsight. In Long War, there's a 20% penalty, which is reduced by 4 points for each of your troops and battle scanners that can see that enemy. So it looks like 4 other troops can see this particular enemy, reducing our squad sight penalty from 20% to 4%. This can be kind of important. You definitely want more people to see a squad sight target, especially at the beginning of the game, or if you haven't steadied your weapon. Of course, this doesn't exist if the target is within the natural range of the sniper himself, his own vision. But it's definitely something to keep in mind, because you can move troops up and then take a sniper shot. Of course, the last 2 units we're going to move, or the last 3 units we're going to move, are our medic with his smoke grenade we're going to save in case we have any exposed troops. Our Rocketeer, because our rocket range will get cut in half if we move. Now, he could probably take out all 3 of these himself, but of course, if you blow up enemy troops, you don't receive corpses or goodies like weapon fragments and Elerium at the for that unit that you killed with an explosive. So it's going to be up to the assaults and the infantry. And we should probably wait on the infantry since he can take 2 shots right now. Only at this target, but still. Assault's definitely the way to go. Looks like a good opportunity to run and gun with this troop. Preferably you save special abilities until you really need them. So I'm going to move this guy up into heavy cover. And it's good to remember, if you spend a whole turn steadying your weapon, and you're ready to take that sniper shot, don't kill all of his targets with other troops. You want that sniper to not have wasted his last turn steadying his weapon, unless there was nothing else for him to do. And generally, he does enough damage to one-shot troops, so it's just highly beneficial to wait. To make sure your sniper gets off a shot, not wait. That's what he's there for. And if you take out all his targets, he just wasted a turn, and he's going to waste another turn steadying his weapon again. So, since he can see both of these, I'm not too worried. I'm going to take out this one, since we know our infantry can range on the one that's left, and so can our sniper. We're feeling pretty good about taking him out. I'm going to use run and gun because, like I said, I would prefer the assaults be the ones to take these guys out. And of course we're going to shoot this one because the other one is targeted by a bunch of our units already. You see how effective shotguns are? So good. And because there's no other enemies around, and I don't expect to activate any more alien pods this turn, we're going to make sure our sniper doesn't waste his steady aim from last turn. Or any of our other troops don't miss because they're much lower accuracy. I'm going to move the let's see. Who will I move where? Rocketeers are the perfect troop to have in the middle of your team, middle forward, because they have really long range, but if they're out of range, you might not even be able to use them at all. Because, you just want them to be able to reach everywhere your units can see. I am going to go ahead and move him here with his long range, his rockets. Here you can see this is the distance that a snapshot or a, what do I call it? Basically a rocket that's being shot after you take a move. You can see it can only reach this far, which is about half the distance, or 2/3 the distance of a regular one. And so here you can see this number, 0.0 scatter. That is the average scatter amount, three and a half almost, at my maximum distance, that the rocket will have from the point I pick. Now, average, remember what from mathematics, average means it's exactly halfway between the least and the highest amount of scatter. So it could scatter none, or it could possibly scatter 6, is generally what that means. Really, yeah, okay. Actually, I did that completely wrong. That is the mean, which means the middle number. Average means you add up all the possible scatter amounts and then divide it by the number of scatter amounts, but that's significantly more confusing. Anyway, he can range on this cover, which is pretty good with one move, and he'll be able to shoot into the middle of the building next turn. Since we don't have anything else to do with him, we'll put him on Overwatch. And because we want our infantry to not have to move to engage, we're going to move him right here to this heavy cover, perfectly located. He can range on the front of this building, and if he never has to engage there, I will be perfectly content. And then just poking around in the back, we'll have our medic on Overwatch. If we want to be really, really safe, we could have our sniper. We could like waste a whole turn so our sniper can steady aim. But at the moment, I'm not too worried. With our squatty perk, these units are so much more deadly than rookies. All right, we're going to leave him there to react if anything nasty pops up. This troop doesn't have running gun, so I'm going to move here. I won't be able to see around the edge, but that means that if there are aliens back there, I also won't trigger them and have them shoot at me when I end my turn. Rocketeer, of course, is going to wait. I do have running gun with this troop, but I see no reason to waste it. And moving up here would leave me flanked by anything that might pop out into this building, so just going to play it safe and get my troops in a position. Maybe I will end up having a steady aim on my sniper when something finally pops out. We're going to move the medic here. Later, if he needs to, he can dash up to heavy cover at the front of the building to support the assaults, which will be moving up this side of the building. And at the moment, he's centrally located between the infantry and the Rocketeer, which will be mostly staying in place. Because let's look at where the rocket can reach now. Blocked by the windows more than I would think. You can see the rocket range is now, the scatter is about half what it was, is exactly half of as bad as it was. And you can reach a long distance with these rockets. So this is a great place for him. Apparently I can't go through these walls, but aliens or myself could easily shatter them. So that's perfect. Overwatch, infantry, good on Overwatch. They have pretty good aim. And we're going to go ahead and steady our aim, since we're likely to see aliens this turn or next. Now that's a leader, it has 4 health. And occasionally you do get this really weird alien movement. One thing you won't get is the teleporting aliens from vanilla. I had a Sectopod, one of the late game like alien tank walkers mechs, like appear in the middle of my squad of 2 after a really difficult mission and totally ruin my troops. Now my sniper is a little exposed. Is it? Maybe it's not the leader. One thing I haven't talked about yet. Aliens and UFOs upgrade over time. So they become more powerful, extra health, higher attributes, all sorts of nastiness. So we're not going to take that sniper shot immediately because we have other things to worry about, like whether these assault troops are going to encounter aliens. Now that there are aliens on the map, active aliens, we are never going to leave our troops out of cover, and we're not going to expose them in any possible way to some kind of alien fire, because it's just so dangerous and so deadly. Even with 6 hit points, critical could put one of my troops down. Overwatch doesn't seem like a great idea. No point in using run and gun when I can't reach cover. And since Overwatch of shotguns is so short, I'm just going to reload. Every little bit helps. Okay, so our assaults didn't really move forward. Now note this character could be flanked. Maybe by someone hiding behind this bus, if they can see him. So we're going to play it really safe, and also put him in range to maybe get a Overwatch shot since he can't see anything currently. This character, let's put him into Overwatch just to be safe. I don't think anything could actually get within range for him to fire on, but there are 5 shots for the shotgun. Now, if I pull, since I use steady aim, I'm not going to pull back. What I could move back here, maybe where the medic is, and have the medic move right here. But I have that plus 20 accuracy. I don't want to waste my last turn. And this is what snipers are for, taking units out in cover if they can. You just gotta play the odds as often as possible. Alright, so you can hear the sectoid's mind emerging. It's a sort of whoosh, whooshy sound. Yeah, all these sectoids have 4 health, and of course the mind merge gives this one 5 health. That's unfortunate. You know, my aim is 40% now. So here's how I'm going to do this. Gonna move him back. I wasn't worried about Overwatch because I heard a mind merge and I did not see the one unit that was watching me. Overwatch. Alright, we're gonna heal. Normally you should probably wait a little bit to make sure you don't need these troops for anything else like offensive action. Currently the medic would not be that useful in offense, and I know I want my sniper healed as fast as possible. I probably should have put my, well, we won't worry about that. My sniper will have to move before they can shoot, which means he's going to be useless next turn. Now, we've got 2 running guns ready. I'm just going to advance without using the perk. And I'm going to do the same here, since I didn't trigger any pods with this first one. Going to go into Overwatch. These shotguns could be a really nasty surprise if the aliens come too close, though using them might open up some other pods. So yeah, note how I'm sticking to the edges of the map, sticking to heavy cover, and instantly retreating anyone who gets wounded so that I don't have any casualties. Also worth noting is every time you heal, you gain a little XP. The Rocketeers position would be great for our sniper. And we could use steady aim. The infantries would probably be absolutely the best. I may just Let's see what's going to happen with the assault. Now, I have to be careful of Overwatch, because the aliens tend to do that. Let's move here. Didn't trigger anybody. And we'll move here. Still didn't trigger anyone. Now remember, they can still move and shoot. I'm gonna move my infantry up. I'm dashing in case there's Overwatch fire. Alright, we saw an alien behind the cupboard there. Gonna get my sniper in a position. Now I could have healed him again, and every heal gives XP to the healing unit, so medics can gain a little bonus XP from healing. But since it's my sniper, it should be easy to keep him in the back, and 4 health is probably enough to survive a hit from a sectoid. Definitely enough from a drone. Alright, still our Rocketeer. We love the position he's in. And no reason to get crazy with my assault troops. The medic, we're going to play it safe and leave him back here. If we moved him out of cover and a sectoid had moved to one of these cars, he could be flanked, and he'd have to move back or waste a turn. We're going to reload this guy, since we have 1 assault on Overwatch in case an alien jumps over the top of the building here. Alright, so Mind Merge you can see on your screen. And you can hear a door opening. If you pay attention, you can look like a really clever player, because you can actually see open doors. Like this back door is open, so an alien must have done that. And this side door is open. Now, we're not going to steady aim until we know that nobody's going to see anything. We know that there were 2 on the inside, and there's a Mind Merge sectoid. I could go crazy and just assault my way straight in, but that could be really dangerous and a bad call, because there's probably multiple sectoids. And if I move to the center, I might have a better range of attacks, but I might also trigger Overwatch from anything in here. So instead, we're going to come right around the corner, see if we see anybody. Mind Merge. So he's the one merging. It would be great if we take him out, but that doesn't seem likely with 31%. Still, this is why we have infantry. Take the shot. Alright, awesome. Awesome. Alright, unfortunately our sniper can't see that far. With the potential to take out 2 units, I feel like I might be willing to take a little more risk. So let's use the assault's flexibility, the flexibility of running gun, to see if we can get a flanking shot from this door. And that's assuming no aliens are waiting for us up there, which could be a kind of foolish assumption. So then we're going to activate running gun, move up here. Alright, we lucked out. No aliens were waiting up here to spring on us after we'd fully committed this guy where they could flank him. So our risky maneuver seems to have paid off. He'll be flanking this alien and killing the one beside him. I always feel a little bit safer when there are no killer aliens left. And this is why we make the assault troops out of our best troops. We really, really needed to score that hit. Alright, so there's probably another sectoid waiting right there. But he'll go into retreat mode. That noise was him freaking out. I find assaults on the roof to be really useful since they can often drop down and score a really easy kill with their shotguns. So we're going to move up here. And you notice how we moved into cover, even though we had running gun left, because we'd love to not use running gun if possible. And since this guy will retreat on his next action, because we killed 2 of his 3 squad mates, or we killed 2, yeah, all of his squad but him in a single round. That's enough to break his morale, I almost guarantee. We're not worried about taking a 2/3% chance to hit. We don't want to use running gun when we don't have to. So we get some perfect shots. And we've seen the inside of this building a good bit. I feel safer moving my Rocketeer up to where he can definitely get into that building. And I'm going to move this guy up so he can open that door so the Rocketeer can shoot through. So, a little ambitious, but I'm feeling good about this. Only one guy might range on me, though my sniper can't shoot back. I'm going to go ahead and steady my aim. Sometimes snipers, heavy cover blocks sniper sight, so you can get unfortunate dark patches where they can't aim. But for the most part, he should be good. Now watch, our assault might be able to take out the mind merge partner of this sectoid here. Our infantry can't see, that's unfortunate. Our assault got wounded, also unfortunate. Now I wish I had way more of an idea where this guy's buddy is. Now of course he's flanking, so he should have a really good chance to hit and crit and kill this sectoid. And none of them used Overwatch. So, in an effort to ensure a kill, I'm going to move closer. I was hoping to see the partner, the mind merge partner, here. And our sniper can't see any units, so I'm going to consider moving him. Now, I don't see any great places to drop down. This might be okay. I might be too distant to get a bead on him. I might activate another alien pod. It's a kind of dangerous proposition. Here is actually the best spot. Very safe. I still have running gun for this unit because I didn't waste it with the sectoid on the roof. And I can at least take this dude out because he'll be flanking him. And shotguns have a higher chance to crit, as they did in vanilla. So let's do this. Running guns, if you don't have a scout with lightning reflexes, running gun is also a good way to get the dash bonus against Overwatch fire. Can we see his partner? No. So if I drop down out here, I still only could have ranged on this character, or this sectoid. So, all in all, played it safe, paid off. Probably going to kill this guy. Well played, me. Now, this is like the perfect position for our infantry. Heavy cover, really in the middle of everything. Okay, so we have a lot of firepower here. We would like our sniper to... I think it most likely we want him to stay back. I feel like he's probably not going to get a chance to shoot it much. But if he does, this hallway would be best, I think. So I'm going to move him. I can't really imagine where he's going to be most useful. Since I can't tell where he's going to be useful, I guess I will just move him here. I can always try and lure units into the rooms. I'm not sure how noise works for aliens, but my suspicion is that every time you kick a door down or smash a window, the aliens get to move a little bit in the darkness, the aliens that you haven't activated yet, and they may be coming closer to you. So I try and avoid it. We're going to move into the heavy cover right here, and maybe we'll heal up our assault buddy. Now, it won't make any healing in the mission won't make any difference on the amount of time you spend recuperating in the hospital later. We're going to move here because this allows us to shoot our rocket outside or inside the building. And Overwatch never hurts. I mean, of course, healing can prevent... So, the most amount of damage you took all mission, like for our sniper, it was... He was down to what, 2? Yeah. So he took 3 damage. He was down to 2. That lowest health is going to be what determines how long you have to spend in the hospital. For this character, if he doesn't take damage again, or even if he gets healed fully and then gets reduced back to down to 5, it's still going to be a 4 health left rest period. The more health you have, the more each one counts. Let's see, we can't heal from here. We may not want to heal first. We've used up our running guns. Our infantry can't see anything. Let's go ahead and play this extra safe, because we'll be able to run and gun next turn with this character. We'll move in. I'm going to reload my pistol. If I need the range, I've only got 2 shots in the pistol, and there's still 4 shots left in my shotgun. We're going to overwatch this character because we know he's closest to the alien. We're going to overwatch this guy. Bulletstorm is also really good for reloading. And we'll just move this character over. Sniper rifles, I think, also have 5 shots. So, 4 or 5. And we'll just heal. Remember, it's a little XP. I probably will just heal him next turn to guarantee I use up all my medikits or all my first aid uses. Because this may be the last alien who we just heard freak out and run away. It's hard to say. Do I want to keep my first aid kit? Now, I try and switch the main weapon whenever possible because I hate accidentally shooting the pistol. There's almost nothing worse. Heavy cover. Since I can advance this troop without using run and gun, I will. He'll be able to cover that open doorway in the back with his Overwatch. It seems unlikely that this is a good position for our infantry to engage anyone in. So we're going to move him right here. It's not heavy cover, but I don't feel like there are many aliens left. But to support him, let's go ahead and move our sniper. Now, sniper is out of cover, but I've just swept this area and the roof. I feel very, very safe that no alien will get into range of my sniper and be able to crit him. If there were thin men anywhere on the board already, I would be terrified and not even come close to trying that. And I don't really see a great place to move this guy. So, well, this'll do. We're going to try and bust through out the back of the building with our double running gun usage in the next round. Move our rockets up here. And the medic. Can he heal from one space away? Survey says no. If it were anything but a sectoid, and if I were using an assault rifle, I might throw the gas grenade. Oh, no. No need. We'll just move him into cover then. Maybe you can heal this character at the beginning of next turn. Alright, so I'm pretty sure the sectoid has regained his morale. Let's move here. We don't want to trigger Overwatch if he's behind this car. We'll go ahead and do the heal. I could have saved that one medipack in case one of my units got reduced to, got a really nasty shot. Doesn't seem necessary. Okay, we just got a clue as to where the alien is. Must be the last one on the map. Our Rocketeer, our sniper is way out of position. So we're going to move him back here. He may get a shot next turn. Probably not necessary. And we're going to move up here, play it safe, but close to. Alright, switch over here. Overwatch. Just in case there's one more alien pod, we'll just do a complete wraparound. Alright, so I'm very, very certain there are no more aliens out there except for this is the last one. So let's get a bead on him with some of our more mobile units. He probably has Overwatch. So we're going to use running gun to get what I'm pretty sure is a flanking position and our best chance at not getting shot with Overwatch. Now observe how extra careful we are in Long War. Last alien, no point in not using my smoke grenade. And we're going to use it to cover where I expect the alien's Overwatch to come at me. So, dashing through smoke, hopefully, and right up here, heavy cover flanking the back of this where he most likely is. It's hopefully a genius maneuver. Let's see. Oh, look at that. And that, I'm pretty sure that specific animation where you get all hits and yet it still misses is the aliens pretty much nailing you except for some bonus. So I'm going to go with the smoke grenade probably saved me from getting hit. We're going to move into flanking position. Our assault's already got a kill. Let's see if we can take this guy out with our infantry. To spread out the XP a little bit. Now, one thing I'd like to note is, in vanilla, XP was mostly based on who got the kill. In Long War, experience is spread among the whole team. You do get a bonus for kills, but significantly more XP goes to every member of the team than before. So my medic will actually level up at a, maybe not as fast as our assault or infantry, who get really rack up the kills, but won't get completely left behind simply because he never gets to kill stuff because he's healing. And of course, the XP from healing helps him maintain a decent level. All in all, it's more about tactics and effectiveness than it is about, snipers sucking all the XP out of the mission because they're making all the shots for you. Alright, so we had a couple wounds. And looks like most of our dudes will be back before the end of the month. And at least 4 of these experienced troops will be able to go on the council mission, I would bet. And we didn't use any explosives, so we got the maximum amount of return on our kills. And Operation Demon Tears gives us another 100 credits. Remember, every abduction is 100 credits. I assume that was the council thanking me for being so awesome. Now let's see. Every time I finish a mission, I check to see if there's something I want to do with that money. Mostly we're saving up. Power generators aren't complete yet. We do want to start a laboratory as quickly as possible. So I'm going to scan and maybe we'll build some stuff. So back to long haul. Damn. Okay. Australia has withdrawn from the council. It's lost its faith in XCOM project and has withdrawn all support. We must try and get them back. So, a new feature in Long War. Let's look at Australia while we talk about this. A new feature in Long War is the ability to take back lost countries. So Australia's out. In vanilla, they would be gone for the rest of the game, and I have to carry on without them. And of course, losing Australia lowers my income by, I forget, like 32 credits a month. So losing any country is a small blow, or, a blow to my income. And so that's a problem. And in vanilla, so to advance the plot, you have to be able to confront an alien base. In vanilla, the base is placed somewhere and has no effect except you discover it eventually. In Long War, I'm going to tie these two together now. In Long War, you have the ability to retake lost countries. So Australia isn't gone forever. I can take it back. And the way I do that is I'll launch a satellite over it, which will show an alien base within it. Every lost country gains an alien base. And so you can have multiple alien base assaults in Long War as well. If I defeat that alien base, I will get the country back at 4 panic. 5 being they pretty much leave you at the end of the month. So it'll cost me a satellite, which of course will be above it when I retake it, giving me income and, continent bonus. Then I will have to launch an assault on the alien base, which will appear after that. And I think you have to have whatever it is, that a plot item that lets you into an alien base, of course, to do anything about it, to attack the base. And if I kill that base, I'll regain Australia. So unfortunately, this puts a crimp in my... So because you have to take an alien base to win the game, Long War, in the middle of the first month, will send a I think it's an alien infiltrator or an overseer type ship. And what they do is they take over countries. Like, they have a mission, like abduction or terror or landing, that they perform, and it's instantly steal a country from you. And at the very beginning of the game, you get one of those to guarantee that there's an alien base for you to attack when that plot point comes around. Now, later in the game, especially I think if they're losing, the aliens will, or if you're doing really well, the aliens will start launching multiple abduction missions or multiple infiltration missions. And if you can't detect those overseer type ships, which you have to have a special technology to do, then you'll start losing countries really rapidly for apparently no reason. And it can become really hard on you. So it's definitely a worry. You definitely want to focus on keeping that from happening. Now, you can shoot them down en route if you can detect them, but since it takes a special technology to do that, things can get pretty hairy late game. And of course, the aliens will proceed whether you proceed with the plot or not. So you really, really want to take it as fast as you're able while still maintaining enough, enough other research to not get your butt kicked as you advance the plot. Anyway, multiple alien base assaults, the ability to retake countries, and new tactics on the aliens' part that can make life really difficult for you if you're not careful. Alright, so that puts a crimp in my plan for Asia, since it'll likely be quite a while before I can retake Australia. Maybe I will... What continent bonus do I want? I already have this, although a lot of scientists per month seems like a great plan. I think I might go for United States. Maybe I'll throw up another satellite in my current Europe. Now remember, the more continents you spread across, the more interceptors you have to have up. And the aliens show up percentage-wise based on how many satellites you have in a country. So if you just have one satellite over Europe and three in North America, then most, like 3/4 of the aliens you encounter will be in North America. So you can shift some away. But you need lots of interceptors, and if you spread across 3 continents early, the cost of the interceptors will just stall everything else. No base building, nothing. Matter of fact, sticking to just Europe wouldn't be a terrible idea, but I'm feeling this is normal difficulty, and I'm feeling pretty good about how the game's going. So, tactical shift or strategic shift. We're going for North America since Asia isn't available. Let's see what the next mission is. Oh, power generator came online. Now we have enough power, we immediately want to start building our laboratory. I could build a workshop for the same cost, but research is so important, and you're always doing research. I think the laboratory will help more. I would love to get my since I went for xenobiology, and there's all these autopsies I want to do, there's arc thrower to research, I just really want to start strong with my research. If I was just focusing on getting like beam weapons or upgrading my shiv, some more material focused stuff, I think I might have gone for a workshop first. But since I want to do all these autopsies and later interrogations and arc throwers, and it's more economical for me to research faster than it is to get the workshops. So that's going. What are we going to build next? Another power generator below this, or our thermo generator would be best. we're gonna need more power before we can build a workshop. We could build an officer training school, which is probably a good plan with the amount of power we have. I may do that. All right, so we have our first UFO contact. We send our ship out to intercept. All right, that was not so good. Note how he's out for 13 days from getting hit. I usually just take 2 shots per interceptor and then send them home, but I always retreat after getting hit twice. No hits. Alright, I've got 2 interceptors left. One of the ways that panic increases is if you don't at least try to intercept a UFO. You don't even have to take a shot. You can approach it, just get close and abort immediately, and you can avoid increasing panic. But if any country has a UFO over it that you don't even attempt to approach, then panic will increase in that country. So you always have to have an interceptor ready to go, which means I can't have 4 damage interceptors without ordering another one immediately, or possibly suffering some 1 to 2 extra panic. Easy to prevent, but it means you always have to have interceptors ready to go. I would really like to have a crash mission to go to, so maybe I can still get a hit or 2. Okay, that didn't really change anything. Since there's only 1 hour of refueling left on this guy, I don't feel bad about sending this interceptor out. But if this guy gets damaged, I'm done. This guy can just go. Alright, so that was just miserable. Like I said, sometimes, and we're just going to let this guy go. We've only got 1 interceptor left, and we're going to use him to make sure we don't experience any additional panic from unintercepted UFOs. Like I said, the air war much more difficult. It feels a little random at first, but if you invest in fighter technology and fighter weapons, then you can see a major and number of interceptors. So we could send this guy out, but we need him to intercept other UFOs. Anyway, yeah. You can see a major difference if you invest in fighter technology, and it's definitely worth it and pretty much required for late game interceptions. If this is what a scout can do to me, imagine what a battleship can do. It's a whole different game. So pay attention and don't make rash decisions based on what you think you know about XCOM. Alright, so we have to intercept him, like I said, but we're just going to give him a love tap. Not that kind of love tap. Like this kind of love tap. And we're going to let it go. Okay. So here's a medium UFO. Now you know that the UFOs that are blinking purple have come to kill your satellites. And you're going to see way more of these than you did in vanilla XCOM. They're also way less effective. And of course they get bigger as the game goes on. These are hunters, or I think that's their mission name. Anyway, he's come to kill my satellite. He has a poor chance of it. You need to keep satellites in reserve. Don't cry if a satellite gets shot down. That's why you have one in reserve, or that's why you're about to build one. You just have to be ready for these. Now, I have to intercept him like every UFO, or the panic's going to increase. But I really don't want to tangle with him. If I thought I was getting messed up by the scout, this thing will do some serious damage. And If we're even a little lucky, he won't take out my satellite. Good. And of course, there were 2 UFOs that got away. So, where there's going to be 2 hunters. There's not even that great of a chance for hunters to appear. I think it's 50-50. And then their chance of actually shooting at your satellite at the beginning is like 30%. And if you damage them, that percentage goes down. Alright, so our satellite is safe. We have another abduction. How are we doing? Most of our troops are back. Got a good roster. And 3 more days and we'll have 2 ships. Maybe enough to intercept a small scout. Alright, so that is our post-mission strategic portion. Let's take a look at where we're at. Xenobio is going to be done soon. Nothing too exciting or that's going to affect the upcoming tactical mission, it looks like. Looks like we'll be able to take good infantry. Now, we want to be careful because that council mission for this month is definitely coming up. So I'm probably not going to send any of my best troops. I'm going to save my best troops for that. And I'm going to send some of the less experienced or less innately skilled soldiers. And oh yeah, in all the excitement, I forgot to do my excavation. Definitely going to excavate here. And here. It's nothing worse than waiting. And the thing we're going to research next is probably something that xenobiology opens up, like sectoid autopsy. So now it's time for the head in the game portion, psychological, like how we act, how we behave as players of the game. So we've done well so far. It was disappointing that our interceptors got wounded for no return, and it would have been nice to collect the goodies from a crash. You can expect at least 60 credits from damage to power sources and navigation, but maybe more from a scout. And of course there's the bodies and the outsider, which is inside every UFO. And it would have been nice to show you guys a outsider combat, since they are really nasty for the beginning of the game, especially compared to the sectoids and other things you find. But that will not, it'll be an abduction mission next. So we're doing fine. I mean, it was a little sad. We're going to get 100 credits back from this abduction mission. The abduction mission isn't going to be hard. Don't sweat the damage. You have to play the long war. If you run into crimps in your plans, like a killed unit or a bunch of damaged interceptors, you got to keep playing smart. Know when to stop chasing that UFO and just retain one unwounded interceptor to tag the things. If we'd lost a satellite, that would suck, but we can replace satellites. It's not that big of a deal. You just got to keep your head in the game. Stay steady. Alright, so it's been a pleasure. I will see you in episode 4, another abduction mission, which you may be getting tired of, but we'll be taking some leveled up troops, so it should be a lot of fun. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time on Let's Win XCOM Long War.